Charlie.
Alex.
Here we are. It's the end of the road. Well, the beginning of the road, but the end of our Drag Race road.
It's the beginning of the end. What was it like day one walking onto that set? Did you feel like, I'm in the television?
Yeah, it was a trip.
I'm in the TV.
It was a real trip because, we hadn't seen each other. We were, in our little isolation tanks. And before we walk into the room, they have you outside the door while the previous girl is doing her entrance. And so I'm standing behind a door, and it's meant to block sound. But Sasha did that primal scream.
What?
And I heard it, and I thought to myself, what the f*** are they doing to them in there? And so I walk in, and I'm like, holy f***, like, I just walked into the workroom.
When I was waiting to come on, I heard Eureka, and I think people in Cleveland heard Eureka. I mean, she was loud, and telling these stories like, oh, I know what this the next month is my life is going to be like.
Ow! Come on, give it up for the big girl.
But yeah, then I saw Valentina and my eyes started to bleed. It was just too much beauty.
I told Valentina on day one, I just looked at her and I said, you're so beautiful.
I just wanted to push her down a flight of uncarpeted stairs. It just hurt to look at her. I've only been doing drag for 2 minutes now.
Has this whole experience taught you anything about yourself?
Yes. I should stop being a proper English gentleman and speak up for myself a little bit more, be a little pushier. Sharpen my elbows a little bit more so I can push to the front of the crowd. Just fight a little bit harder. There were several incidents that happened during the show where I was polite and I bit my tongue, and I'm not going to bite my tongue as much.
I feel that feelings and thoughts really should be let out, just like poop and farts. It's much healthier to let it out than keep it in.
So what did you learn about yourself?
It's funny, and people watching this might not believe it because, they may have perceived me in a certain kind of way from the show. I came to Drag Race really focused and hoping to make a lot of friends. And I did. The value I placed on the sisterhood and the legacy of being a part of Drag Race was so important to me that I think there were times I forgot I was in a competition. So even though I think people perceive me as being highly competitive, there were a lot of times when, like you, I was thinking, like, you know what, I'm gonna take this one for the team. Because I was like, wait, but aren't we all friends and sisters? Like,
no, we're competitors.
And I forgot that. Well, now that we've had some time to reflect and think about it all, would there be anything that you'd go back and do differently?
I'd bring sleeping pills. I would. I didn't sleep after the cheerleading. How about you? Is there anything you'd do differently?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot I would have done differently. I mean, there were definitely some looks where I dropped the ball. I'm known back at home for being a really polished and, like, elevated looking queen. And I felt that there, for whatever reason, whether it was like tunnel vision because I had some emotional attachment to an outfit, or I just thought, oh, that's gonna work, rather than thinking, how can I turn the volume up as high as I can? So I feel like I choked a couple times when it came to aesthetic choices, so I would definitely do some of that over.
Would you do your fur differently?
Oh my God.
Because you should have won that challenge. As far as I'm concerned, you should have won.
For the performance I have. Shay was fantastic.
But he was on stage for 30 seconds compared to you, the whole thing.
Yeah, I definitely think I won the performance part of that challenge, but I dropped the ball in the runway.
Court, Chloe, I think I just made up a word. Momager, I'll put you on a TV show. I'll film you eating salad and we'll rake in the dough. Momager.
What was lip syncing for your life like?
Surreal. I didn't think it was going to be me. We all thought it was going to be Pepper. So I was a bit shocked.
I was shocked too.
You know that I had cracked my rib during the cheerleading, and I had been duct taping my ribs. I was in pain because it was sucking in my rib cage. I couldn't take very big breaths, so I couldn't do anything. Like They said I looked dead behind the eyes. I was dead behind the eyes. A couple of thoughts went through my head. Don't try to compete with Trinity. Try to compete with Tammy Brown. I think I've said this before. I know how to lip sync, and just the same way I know how to make sushi. I only do it twice a year. And Trinity makes sushi for a living.
Right.
I knew she was going to be doing backflips and splits and everything.
A lot of hairography.
Yeah, hairography. So I just thought, you know what? Be the exact opposite. Be the thing that's going to become a meme.
Right. Yeah, there was some good mom dancing. Sister O' Mine, this has been one hell of a ride.
It has been indeed. And it's kind of like people who survive in a storm shelter during a hurricane or like a tornado. They've gone through that experience together. We've survived.
We have.
And there's a very small sorority of people who know what it is we've been through. And I'm really glad. I knew on day one. I knew when I met you. It's like, that's a kindred spirit. This is someone I know and I'll know for a very long time. So I'm looking forward to getting locked up in prison for drug smuggling with you.
Oh, that'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Hey, squirrel friend. When one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support you.